Good afternoon. Today we get to see what Eliphaz has to say. And I think it's important, probably going into this, to consider people that are in your life when you've been going through stuff and they just haven't said the right things. In an odd way, it's a blessing. It will surface stuff in you that needs to get perfected. It will provoke you to glean the truths that you hold dear to. And it has the advantage of teaching you to love beyond yourself and what you think you know. Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, "If one attempts a word with you, will you become weary? But who can withhold himself from speaking?" So that's not a good tone to start off with. Have you had people in your life that have evaluated your process and decided it's not right? Surely you have instructed many, and you have strengthened weak hands. Your words have upheld him who was stumbling, and you have strengthened the feeble knees. But now it comes upon you, and you are weary. It's not helpful for somebody to say, "You're weary for nothing. You're complaining for nothing. What's going on with you? You're not handling it correctly." But sometimes people do that. Sometimes people aren't attuned. Sometimes people can't sit with you in certain parts of your path. It touches you and you're troubled. Is not your reverence your confidence? And the integrity of your ways your hope? So now he's starting to question Job's whole way of life prior to this set of events. And saying, if you really were true before about what you believed and what you said, and he's adding to Job's difficulty instead of just being with him. Remember now, whoever perished being innocent. Well, because Eliphaz hadn't seen that, or if he had seen that, he interpreted it differently. He wasn't able to see that aspect of the Lord. Or where were the upright ever cut off? Even as I have seen, those who plow iniquity and sow trouble reap the same. By the blast of God they perish, and by the breath of his anger they're consumed. It is true that we can only speak from our experiences of the Lord and how he has been in them according to our interpretation. And just as a member of the body of Christ, If you've ever suffered this, I'm so sorry. We who know the one who laid his life down for us ought to know love better. There is no other journey like your journey. There never will be another journey like your journey. No one but the Lord is ever going to be able to experience it from being in your shoes. But sometimes when people interpret it from their shoes, it becomes hurtful. And sometimes we assign that, because it's God's people, to God himself. I have the advantage in my journey of knowing that a lot of stuff doesn't make sense, and it's not that simple, and you can't just assign what I know about God to another person's journey. I would even say that sometimes those who plow iniquity and sow trouble don't reap it within my vision. And my vision is small. And God's scope is big. His picture is big. And he sees the end before the beginning. And I bless you with the comfort that where people have failed, he is present. And his desire is to be with you. And he's not going to give you platitudes, and he's not going to diminish your feelings. He just wants to be with you. And he'll sit in silence as long as you want to. And you get to be the one that initiates the conversation that you need to have. Understanding that if you're not ready for the answers, sometimes he won't give you specific answers, but he'll be there. The roaring of the lion, the voice of the fierce lion, and the teeth of the young lions are broken. The old lion perishes for lack of prey, and the cubs of lionesses are scattered. He's misapplying the understanding of seasons and reaping. It makes him feel safe to think he knows God. And he feels like he's bringing the wisdom that he has from his journey to help Job sort it out, because he's already begun to judge what he sees and thinks that Job needs correction. We do that as humans. One day we will judge the world and we'll judge angels. But with our imperfect souls, when we try to do that, we don't do a very good job. So I just break off any judgments you feel have been assigned to you because of people misinterpreting your path. And I bless you with the truth that there was in the heart of God an intentionality that on this part of your path that you would have the grace to step into a place of intimacy that would bring you solace and comfort and understanding and peace. And I bless you that God is waiting to offer that when you're ready, when you get to the end of yourself and people haven't helped you. I bless you in Jesus' name today.